How the victim mentality used to hold me back and what I did to change. I'm Dr. Ray Peralta, physical therapist, run coach, exercise physiologist. Over the past 10 years, I've helped people improve their fitness, rehab injuries, become stronger, more resilient. But I wasn't always that way. Today, I'm going to share how the victim mentality used to hold me back in my own life and how I broke out of it. I'll walk you through the three biggest ways it was sabotaging me and the three tools I used to take my power back. And if you need help with running, getting pain free, getting stronger, check out my free training linked in the description. So, the victim mindset, also called the victim complex, is when you constantly see yourself as a victim of your circumstance, right? It sounds like it's not my fault. The universe is out to get me. They're the reason I'm still in pain. Why does this always happen to me? I used to live in that space. And here's how it was wrecking my health, relationships, and my career. Blaming others. I used to think it was someone else's job to fix me. When I had chronic back and knee pain, I kept expecting the medical system to save me. I'd go to a physical therapist and hope that some miracle technique would just fix me and all the problems would go away. Meanwhile, I wasn't doing my part, right? Keeping with the exercise, the home exercise, the posture work, just the lifestyle movement things consistently. I'd say physical therapy didn't work, but what I really meant was I just wasn't following through. And the same thing with my fitness, right? I would used to blame like my parents, saying, "Oh, why didn't my parents raise me to be athletic, more sporty? I don't have the skills to like play baseball." But at the end of the day, it was on me to get off the couch and practice a sport, whether it was baseball, running, whatever the sport activity that I thought that I sucked at. That was just on me not following through. And instead of trying to blame my parents for not enrolling me in more sports and activities, again, that was doing on my own of just not following through, especially now as an adult. Where I can't keep looking at oh, it's my parents' fault that I'm still on the couch. No, that's on me. And obviously, I take some changes, uh, some actions to actually change that instead of just dwelling on that and trying to blame others. Expecting something in return. I'd go out of my way for people, especially in past relationships, and expect to be rewarded. Like cooking dinner or cleaning up, I was hoping it would make my partner treat me better, but the reality was no amount of caretaking fixes the wrong relationship. At work, I'd do everything right and then feel resentful when I didn't get a recognition or a praise or raise, right? Oh, I didn't get a promotion at work. But life doesn't always work like a vending machine, right? You don't just insert effort and automatically get rewarded. Sometimes you do diligent work and no rewards happen for years. And I know that could be frustrating. And I used to think, oh, why am I, I'm in a relationship. I was like, one of my past relationships, I was with this girl for like 3 years and getting upset that she wasn't doing things for me in return. And then it was on me to just recognize I was just chose the wrong person to be in a relationship with, and trying to give to get, thinking, oh, if I would, do nice things, cook dinner, clean the apartment, that she would do nice things for me in return. When in reality, I was just, again, I just didn't have good boundaries and just didn't pick the right partner. Victim venting and rage. I used to explode when things didn't go my way. I couldn't understand why I wasn't getting what I deserved. I thought, oh, I'm a nice guy. Why isn't life working out? Why is my job so stressful? Why aren't people treating me better? Right. I lash out at others instead of taking a good hard look at how I was contributing to the problem. Right. I would bottle up all these emotions and then just rage out one day and lash out at others and say something mean to someone else. And I was trying to blame everything else outside of me but me. I was giving away my power to something else, something outside of me. I was acting like a child, waiting for someone else to come save me. I thought, oh, someone's going to come save me and rescue me. But in reality, I had to take responsibility. So, what changed, right? I stopped playing the victim, that victim mindset. And here's how: I started owning up on for my actions and my inactions, right? Taking responsibility, knowing that it's my responsibility to respond. I can respond to the actions or things or the world going around me. That I have that power to respond, right? If my back or knee flares up, instead of like blaming my body, blaming the pain, like, oh, why am I in pain? My body sucks. I ask, what was I actually doing the things that I needed to do? Okay, let's take up the corrective actions, the behaviors, the exercise, the postures I need to do to help me get out of the back pain or the knee pain. In relationships, I asked, did I set the boundaries? Did I speak up for myself? And if it's time to change the relationship, okay, am I going to take the action, the responsibility to end the relationship and take action on that? Or at work, did I communicate clearly? Am I choosing to stay in a work situation that's draining me, right? That's on me to continue to accept that we're not setting boundaries at work. when I realized I could consciously respond and not just react, everything shifted, right? It was my conscious ability to respond to what's going on around me, also inside of me, even my thoughts and emotions. And that takes me to number two, reflection. I started to look inward, not just at things that are happening, the circumstances, but the emotions or the thoughts, how I'm responding to that, right? And not every emotional response needs to have a reaction to it and sort of be reactive to it. Sometimes you just need to sit with it and get triggered by things that happened years ago, right? I'm like, oh, why poor me? Why didn't I do this differently? Wishing I could have done something else in the past. But I realized those old stories only have power if I kept replaying them. And breath work really helped me reset and recognizing to just be more present in now instead of trying to worry about the past of things I could have changed. Recognize that I am now and I could be the author of my future, right? With breath work, I learned that the breath is a bridge between the thoughts and emotions and actions. And it's really helped just spending like just even 5 minutes of doing breath work daily has been a big game changer for me. Meditation. I also turned to meditation. At first, I struggled to sit still. Right after a few minutes a day, I'm like, man, this sucks. But then it started to click. Right, it took a week or so, but then it started to get easier. Then that quiet, even though that monkey brain was chatting around, worrying about things, worrying about the past or the future, the quiet space helped me break the victim loop. And now I meditate 15 minutes daily. It's sure it's not going to be an overnight fix. It's not like I'm going to meditate and then all my prayers are going to be answered. No, but it reminds me that I'm responsible for how I show up. And by doing the things, the breath work, the meditation, just taking responsibility, uh, those behaviors and actions is my form of self-care. And that's taking that responsibility has helped me shift out of that victim mindset. So look, if you're stuck in pain, stuck in old stories, or just plain old stuck, you don't need to stay there. Take your power back, start small, and start now. And if you need help getting stronger, running, or building that momentum again, check out my free training link below. It's time to stop blaming and start moving forward.